unfortunately couldn't hang on to it, but that's probably the versatility or I guess the little bit extra he provides to this team that Lomanu didn't the last time they played.
We move to the scrums. The Japanese, obviously, is in weight, not quite as much. They tend to have quite short, rotund props, but they're very, very tight in the way they bind. But the pure physicality of the Canadians in the forward should give them victory today.
So the first scrum of the match, and that's a good scrum from the Japanese, and they earn the feed this time. A significant stage or sign in the early part of this match.
Well, Carpenter really made a meal out of that at the back. If you're going to get your shoulders off, the weight's going to come back at you. You've got to get the ball out as quickly as you can.
Be interesting to see where the Japanese attack. Probably, without being too harsh, their centre pairing hasn't probably been one of their weak points, I guess. Every team in this, all the better teams in this tournament have a really powerful centre pairing. So it wouldn't surprise me if they either keep it very close or very wide and nothing in the middle.
Well, that time it was a better scrum for the Canadians.
They just made the mistake there, the Canadians, of coming up. They should have dropped the height. The pressure was coming on. They almost got a turnover there.
No, you can't. The last man. Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage. Bind up here. Put it in.
So once again, the atmosphere of a Rugby World Cup match sets the scene, and a short arm penalty for the Canadians. The Japanese didn't execute there.
Well, Kaplan was screaming at Yoshida to put the ball in. The setup was straight enough, but he wasn't ready, and it was crabbing across field. And pretty simple penalty, really.
Yeah, it is. You often see it that, you know, you're told as a halfback, do not put that ball in until you get the tap from your front row. But on this instance, when the referee speaks, you put that ball in.
It's not up to two, it's up to the man who's the referee.
Ben Dow and Ben Tune exerting their vast knowledge in the area of scrums, and Ryan Smith gets the clearing kick for the Canadians. It's with the Japanese now through Robbins. Imamura out in the centres. Back to the right, they swing it. This is a Ruger up from fullback. Robbins has missed out there. O'Reilly sent it on. The Canadians have thwarted that attacking opportunity and turned things over.
That's arguably the most frustrating thing about watching this Japanese side play. They make the half breaks, they make the line breaks, but then just silly errors, I guess, bring them undone.
That lack of belief that John Kerwin, their coach, alluded to.
I think it was the Japanese 12. Anishi ran a really good line, good clean break, but again the Japanese just turning too much ball over.
No shortage of enthusiasm from the Japanese, and after a juggle, the halfback Yoshida takes it in for the Cherry Blossoms. Miyashi, the skipper, picks it up and drives on.
Push back.
So Yoshida waits.
Ball is out.
Goes himself, not quite sure what's happening there. The little halfback under plenty of pressure as O'Reilly gets things back for the Japanese. Robbins, the pass behind. Anishi's pass was loose to Endo. And once again, as Ben Tune alluded to only moments ago, the Japanese not executing.
I don't see the need for the Japanese to do anything more than just get the ball wide as fast as you can. They're trying to engage the forwards there, but the Canadians are going to be able to slow the ball down anyway, so the D-line's always going to be set. It's whether they can make those clean breaks.
And they actually created an opportunity there. There was space out wide,
Crouch.
but one, the winger was too flat,
Touch.
and as a result, the ball just went straight behind him. Simple stuff, really.
So the Canadians take it off the back. Aaron Carpenter lays it back now for Williams-Smith. And after Ndanavuthu and Lavaniali from Fiji on the weekend, Williams and Smith will do me.
Knock on, knock back. Scrum.
Well, the Canadians would have done their homework on the Japanese, and as a result, they're going to be very aggressive at the breakdown. They know the Japanese really struggle with slow ball. So it's not surprising to see them, really flying into rucks, really trying to upset the Japanese, or the speed at which the Japanese can get their hands on the ball.
Crouch. Touch. Pause. Engage.
Jonathan Kaplan clear with the instructions, and the Japanese scrum on the back foot.
Let it come right.
Japanese here really, oh, well, there you go.
So no shortage of errors made in the first 5 minutes of this game, and I guess both sides will be nervous. They really want to win this.
I guess, I was literally just about to mouth the words. I'd hope they're going to look for field position here and slow ball, a butch scrum, get the ball out of here. The last thing you want to do is try to reignite that type of ball, but as a result of trying to reignite it, they ended up turning the ball over.
Well, 6 scrums in 6 minutes so far.
You're in heaven, Ben.
Yeah.
The smile on Ben Darwin's face as Smith turns it back inside to Craig Culpin. Scored that wonderful intercept try against the Welsh. Mike Burak, coached by Ben Darwin at the North Sydney club, takes it forward. Smith, a little drop kick off the boot it was, and Goaruga cleans up for the Japanese. It's a fitting name for a Japanese fullback. Go. So 7 minutes gone in Bordeaux, and that early settling period for both sides. We've seen lots of mistakes, plenty of scrums.
Good little.
You heard Jonathan Kaplan asking the Canadians to use it. In the end, there was obstruction, and so the penalty to the Cherry Blossoms.
The ability of the South Africans and the French and the Australians to reignite a rolling maul once the ball has fallen down. You saw them do it very well against Wales, and the Canadians here just not sure where to go. They needed to set up in front of the man with the ball and roll around the corner there to the left.
So once again, the trumpeter in the crowd signals charge, and that's what we want to see on the pitch.
The Japanese love a quick line-out setup. You do in, they're up, because they can't beat you for height, so what they will do is they'll beat you for speed. So every time the ball's there, you watch how quickly they get it in.
Robbins, the kick to his winger, Endo. But Mike Pike read it well, and the big fullback carts it back.
It's probably the inexperience there of Robbins a little bit. Before you try one of those wiper kicks, you normally hit midfield so that it brings the fullback into the middle.
And advice there for Bryce Robbins from Ben Tune, who knows what it feels like to be on the end of a good cross kick from a 5'8", and Mike Pike was there waiting for it.
Yeah, and the Wallabies do it really well. They'll hit Mortlock centre field. The fullback then has to pretty much stand behind that ensuing ruck. Then the number 10 will get it and hit the corner.
So Pat Riordan, the London-born hooker for Canada, now finds his back line. Culpin steps back inside, almost emerges out the other end. Williams is there, but under pressure. He takes it forward.
Leave him.
Pike assumes the halfback reins.
Really frustrating. You watch the way the Canadians set up off that wonderful line out. Great setup, but their clean out is so poor that it just slows the play down.
So this is Mike James, the blonde-haired second rower, capitalising on the good work of the blonde-haired inside centre, Dave Spicer and Ryan Smith. That kick once again ill-directed, easy work for the Japanese halfback Yoshida. Aruga plays halfback. And the left foot kick from Onishi finds some space. James Pritchard, born in Park, Sydney, takes it forward and does well for the Canadians. Out to the right they come, the pass to Spicer. It's good defence from Christian Lamanu. Smith, a short pass. Well read from the Japanese defence. Once again they go to the left. Smith under pressure. Craig Culpin. That was Philip O'Reilly around his bootlaces.
Great line speed and defence from the Japanese. Absolutely flying out of the line.
Strong.
That's all well and good if you can actually you can actually do that inner line. Where you get found out is if individuals start sprinting out, that leaves a gap either side of that individual, which really good teams will exploit.
I noticed that Sam Cordingley was coming up very hard on Sunday's game, out of the line in defence, hoping to get a few turnovers, and it worked on one occasion, but someone did go in behind him.
Hitoshi Ono, the big Japanese second rower, started off that brilliant movement that ultimately led to Kazuki Endo's exciting try against the Welsh the other night. And this time, Spicer puts it on the left boot, finds touch. So the Japanese win the line out through Makiri. And upfield they go, Endo. He's strong, the big fella. Kazuki Endo. He's strong, all right. And he can score a try. The first at Bordeaux this afternoon. Where was the Canadian defence? Kazuki's in again.
Great individual try from Endo. We saw what he was capable of against the Welsh. That was just brilliant play. I mean, he hit the ball nice and flat off the back of the line out.
Ryan Smith.
Yeah, bumped off Smith, kept going, a little in and away. Van der Merwe couldn't bring him down, and then it just came down to sheer speed. He's a real talent, this bloke. I've been very impressed by what I've seen.
Yes, I saw Kazuki Endo do some great work against Australia A up in Townsville in the Pacific Nations Cup. Bryce Robbins scored that try, but Endo bumped off a few en route to setting it up. He also burned off Jonah Lomu, fended off Carlos Spencer in a classic All Blacks game in Japan. Once again, all his skill and all his strength on display, and it's good to see. Shitaro Onishi misses the kick. 5-0 Japan.
Well, Ben Tude said Japan had trouble stringing passes together. One solution, don't pass it. Endo found that.
So the Japanese with early momentum on the back of Endo's try. And there is an Australian connection with the big winger as well. He's played some rugby for the Eastwood Club in Sydney, Bendower.
That's right, he has. Isn't it funny, the Japanese, once they get a sniff, they do start to believe. Here they come.
The defence this time from the Japanese as the Canadians look to go on the counter-attack. Spicer back inside the pass, big hit. Adam Kleberger felt the full force of the Japanese defence. James takes it forward for the Maple Leafs. They're right on the halfway and earn the penalty.
Well, they're always a very emotional team, the Japanese, and the difficulty they get themselves into here is they're going to start trying to come up on the line, making hits like that, which is extremely effective. But their ability to concentrate for 80 minutes is going to be questioned.
Bryce Robbins, inspirational in defence.
The only way really to counter line speed like that is to start getting them thinking of alternatives. In other words, the Canadians need to start putting a couple of little balls in behind the Japanese back line. That'll at least get them wondering, okay, you know, are they going to run it, are they going to chip it behind?
Well, the Canadians will have an opportunity now to see or to show what they have in their bag of tricks. Riordan finds Mike James in the line out. Canada's most capped second rower takes it forward. Great experience. Great leadership. The Maple Leafs set the platform. Williams pulls it out. Smith drops the ball. He decided what he was going to do with it before he'd caught it.
Well, you get a little bit annoyed by just silly schoolboy errors like that. You can kind of understand a team that is outclassed or just doesn't have the arsenal to do well, but they're just silly little errors that really, for a team at this standard, you just shouldn't be seeing it.
the Canadians play almost identically in many ways to the South Africans. They love a big 7-man line out. They'll go for a drive. They'll continue to engage until they split wide. But the skill execution is the area where there's a point of difference. Great scrum, though.
Great scrum from Canada, but Miyoshi, the skipper, saved the day. Robbins passes wide. Imamura wrestles to the ground. Yoshida behind Makiri to Robbins. And that kick, well, that was an ugly bounce for Pritchard. And a good bounce for the Japanese. He finds his touch.
I like the way they're thinking, though, at least. You know, tactically they're thinking, well, look, it's not